Hey guys, working on that Cadillac today. I want to start making the lower dog legs for the two front fenders. And there's an inner piece and an outer piece. An inner piece that goes from here over to here and then has a little bend to it. And that piece is going to wind up being, I don't know, probably about 14 inches long. And then there's the whole piece here, which is the outer piece. And that's looking like, well, 22 would do it, but I'm thinking 24. Now I've already measured the lap down here and going up is going to be about 8 inches. So if I take that 8 and the 5 I'm adding to this for the inner piece, that's 13 inches. So I think what I'm going to do is cut a 13-inch wide sheet out of a 4-foot width sheet of sheet metal, which I have over here. So I got the sheet of sheet metal, I got 13 inches, and it measures, they originally started out as a 4x8 sheet, and that's 4 foot. So, if I cut out 13 inches, and I think I can get each side, both the inner and outer, out of that 24 by 13 inch piece. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Slicing and dicing, and then I'm going to start shaping. I wish I had an extra helper. I wish I had a helper at all. A little on the hefty side. I made it just a little wider. That looks about right. Now, if I can reach the handle, I guess 4 foot is just my max. Stayed pretty close to my line. Feel pretty good about that. There we go. Wow, that sheet's easier to handle now. It's a little smaller. All right, so I've decided I'm going to do one of these at a time, kinda. Or at least get one started. And I know the one, I could cut it off at 23 inches. I know I'll have more than enough material. And that's going to leave me a little bit extra for the other one. So, just going to do a little scribe here. And that's a pretty easy way to measure something out. And here's this piece. So now I know I need, this is a simple piece, so I'm going to cut this piece out. I pretty much know what I need. I know what it was. So if I cut the strip, whatever this is, pretty much looks to be like, call that 1.5 inches, right? And then make the bend, and from the bend it's another 4. So 5.5 inch strip out of that will give me this piece. Now, what length do I want to cut this to? It's a rotted off piece. And this was for the driver's side, but I know this piece folded around and came around the corner here and probably came back to meet that. And it looks like there's a bit of a taper to it, and I got to figure that out. Figure I got 12 inches there, plus a taper, I'd say another 2 inches. So if I cut it 14 inches long, it should be enough. And then from there, I'll try to figure out what the angle and the taper is. That's a good little piece of steel to trim something out of anyway. So I'm going to start forming and bending and see what I can do from the first one. I'll see how I get with the first pattern, the first one, and then hopefully get the next one too. Okay, I've got about an hour in these two pieces. I think they'll work. I still got to make a weld there, and the same on that one. One's for the driver's side, one's for the passenger side. Let's go take a look and see how at least one of them fit. Okay, so we got this gaping hole. I got it so it'll notch in there. Now this is all sub, the outer sheet metal. And then it's going to come across here and kind of mount up here like that once I get it in. I also made a little piece, because the mounting tab is gone, I made this little piece here to fill that out. So that'll get welded on there, drill a hole through it. Then we got to put a hole up through this right here, and that's what'll bolt the fender, because this is all part of the fender still, to this wheelhouse, which is metal. See, that's where it's bolted here on the fender, it's bolted up here on the fender, and down at the bottom it bolts on the fender, and that's how we're going to recreate that. Now it's time to start recreating these parts right here. That's going to take me a little while. We'll see. I've got two pieces of sheet metal here. It's flat. Going to see if I can form that on it. Okay, this thing's confusing me. I can't bend it in the brake because I can't do more than one bend. So I'm going to clamp it here and see if I can't whack it there and get my shape. I'm trying to get this shape basically, what they got out of putty on this one, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So I ought to be able to do it, I think. Kind of rounding it off a little, I don't like that. I don't know. Well, I definitely got some shape going. I don't know whether it's the right shape or not, but I definitely got some shape going. Don't look all that awful, really. Got this. Maybe it's kind of close, really. So my next thing is I got to get this roll. There's a roll here, but I think I can do that in my pinch roller. But it's also not an even roll. It seems to increase. Does it increase on the way down or the way up? Because I could probably roll it over something here too. My golly, I think I'm getting kind of close. I just got to clamp back in here right now because I got to make this bend a little steeper. But I put this in the roller and I got kind of a swale going there where I think it ought to be, kinda. Yeah, this might shape up yet. Welp, I got it, pretty close. About 3 hours. Maybe 2.5. But I got it. I got that one. Now I've used this angle here as a pattern for these lines. I'm going to see if I can start bending those and getting those to do what I want them to do. But yeah, it's tough. Okay, guys. Well, I got this one done. Took me about 2.5 hours. But I got it close enough where I can put it in, weld it up, and feel pretty confident it'll look pretty good. Then this one took me like no time at all. I just went over to the brake and put the bends in it. Then I took it over to the roller and put the bend in that. And I put it up and it looks pretty good. Now I got to make this bend here. It's the bend that it's about a 45-degree bend. And that's where the fender comes down around and goes under the car, and then 2 bolts go up into it. That's what that'll leave, is that flange. Anyway, so I'm putting this on the back burner for the moment because I got to do the chassis saver spray. Morning, guys. It's the next day. Yesterday I painted 2 coats of chassis saver on this chassis. Now, I have 18 hours before I'd have to rescuff and sand, and I finished up my second coat, around 6:30 last night. So that means 24 hours would be 6:30. So I think I've got until noon to get this painted, and right now it's about 7 a.m. So I'm gonna get started on it now. I should be well within my 18-hour time. I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's shiny black chassis saver. But I want to throw another coat on it. I want to cover it up nice and tight. I don't want to get in moisture damage again if I can avoid it. There's obviously places in the car where you just can't get behind certain things without tearing everything apart, and I'd have to saw the car in half to do that. So obviously not going to do that. Most of this I painted about 30 PSI. And I had the fan turned all the way down, so I'm basically, it's almost like painting with a round brush. And I'm hitting all the spots I can. See, like right up in there. I still didn't get much up in there. I got to do that more. Anyway, all that to say, then I turned up the pressure to about 45, even 50. So it's actually shooting a paint stream. And I can shoot that paint stream up into places I couldn't get as well at the lower PSI. So I'm going to do that for a while. I got this here looking pretty good. But I think another coat's gonna help make it look better. That'll be 3 coats, and then I'll call it good for this, for the chassis saver paint. I could actually walk away from it now, but you see how some of it, it's more shiny there. I wanna get a more uniform 3rd coat on it, on all the outside spots, and get a heavy spray on some of the inside spots. I got that fairly good. I can see where it's a little light. I'll hit that a little heavier. So, 3rd coat coming up. Okay, I've been spending some time getting these fender patches put together, and now I got them all set up. I got my inner ones here. They're both together. I need to put a weld here, and then the same thing over here. And then the bottoms of these fenders, I want to weld this shut. And this, I'm going to close that up, weld that, and make it all kind of one piece. I'm going to do the same on this side. Somehow they didn't come out exactly the same. You can see how I got the way they're like pie shapes that are a little different. But anyway, I'm going to weld that all up, and then we'll see what it looks like when I get done. Okay, that's what it looks like after I welded it. I got it pretty welded up. This was an open V. I just had a wedgie piece that I stuck in there and just welded it in. I got those welded shut, and this one I already welded and grounded off. Put a really coarse wheel on, but I think once I hit it with the flapper disc, it'll clean up and look pretty nice. Well guys, I hope you liked that video. We got pretty much those patches made up. Now we just got to get them welded into the car. So that'll be next time. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you on the next one.